Okay, so it's the finale of She-Hulk, and it's interesting. Let's get into it. This is She-Hulk Episode 9 review. So I do kind of like the opening. It's done in this dramatized narration style of the old 1970s Hulk show. Kind of just a retelling of recap of the She-Hulk show done in that kind of style. So I thought that was kind of cool where they had a physical person painted green and not the CGI She-Hulk. I kind of like that as a little nod to the old Lou Ferrigno. So that was kind of a fun opening. And then we get Jen. She's in the detained cell that we had seen Emil Blonsky in because of her outburst from the end of the last episode. And apparently the public sees her as an out of control Hulk now. And so now she has to wear an inhibitor, and she loses her job, she loses her apartment, she's living with her parents now, and things kind of really down on her luck. And she really just kind of wants to find who's behind the intelligentsia and who leaks all of her stuff at the ball. And I do kind of like that she points out, she got angry, which was something normal people should be angry about. But they also point out that, well, she's angry, but she's a Hulk, so she can't really express her anger in the same way. It's kind of an interesting thing, and so I did kind of like that sort of touch, and it does kind of show, I think, how she has kind of learned better to incorporate She-Hulk into her day-to-day life. But of course, Jen wants to find out who's behind the intelligentsia, and so I like that Nikki actually kind of takes the initiative here, and she ends up posting a video of Jen in college onto the intelligentsia website, and that gets the attention of the Hulk King. So she kind of baits the Hulk King to come out and he invites her to this secret meeting they're having, and he calls her bro, just assumes that it's a man. And so she sees that, and so she goes and recruits Pug to help her, and so she has Pug go kind of undercover into this intelligentsia anti-She-Hulk meeting. So this is probably my favorite part of the episode because I love Nikki. I've been saying she's the MVP character of the show. I mean, obviously I think Tatiana Maslany is a fantastic actress in the role of She-Hulk, but I think the character of Nikki is probably the best character they have on the show. And I always love it when she and Pug team up, and so I really like this whole part where they're teaming up and Pug's kind of really uncomfortable. He doesn't want to be there. He doesn't like these anti-She-Hulk people, and I like that he's kind of disgusted with their language and that he's just not cool with their whole vibe. And because Pug's a really good guy. And so I love Pug, and I, kind of maybe he and Nikki can hook up or something, but I really like Pug a lot, and I just like that whole scene. It really kind of is a take on internet trolls, but I really like just having him and Nikki work together because they do find out that reveal Todd is Hulk King. Big shocker, right? I think we all kind of knew that's who was behind everything was Todd. And so it's revealed Todd's the Hulk King. He's behind Intelligentsia. Obviously, he is the one that hired Josh and is the one that hired the Wrecking Crew. He's the one behind it all. So we get that big reveal, which again, not a huge reveal. And in the meantime, Jen needs a break from her family, so she goes to Emil Blonsky's retreat that we saw a couple episodes ago. And she's talking with the former Wrecking Crew guy who apparently has just cut all ties because he is completely oblivious to this whole intelligentsia thing and that Todd's on the grounds and has no idea because he doesn't warn Jen. He's like, oh yeah, Abomination or Emil, he went down to the lodge for a meeting or something. And we find out that Emil has been turning into the Abomination, and Todd hired him for the event, and the event is on Emil's retreat grounds. And so Jen goes down there, and that's kind of where everything comes to a head, sort of. So we get Jen confronting Emil about turning into the Abomination. We get Todd confessing everything and then injects himself with some sort of Hulk serum, and he hulks out. Then Titania breaks through the wall, and I like that Nikki's doesn't she ever use a door? Because she's always breaking through things. And then Bruce comes in from out of nowhere and starts fighting Abomination, and things are out of control, and that's when the show takes a pause. So I kind of don't like this fourth wall break. I know Jen says none of these plot lines, have anything to do with each other. And, it kind of makes me feel like all of these terrible plot lines that the show was doing was all set up just for this fourth wall break joke. And I don't like that. And it's not as clever as the writers think it is, because the audience, we still remember everything that happened. We still remember the trying to get her blood storyline and Todd and everything. And what the heck is the point of Titania this season? She just keeps popping up. Nothing about her has ever been explained. I still don't know why she was bursting into the courtroom at the end of the first episode. Don't know why she has any powers. Don't really care or know why she's so hung up on Jen. None of that makes any sense. And just because they point out that these plot lines are terrible, well, that doesn't actually make them any better. They're still terrible. This is not the way to fix it. The way to fix it is to not write them as terrible to begin with. So I don't like this kind of fourth wall break. I do think it's clever, though. I do kind of like that they show her, busting out Disney Plus. That was kind of cool. But her, breaking into the writer's room, who the writers are coming off completely goofy. Her insisting on talking to Kevin. We find out Kevin is not Kevin Feige, but is a robot. That's all just too much for me. I don't like it. And then, of course, she demands that Kevin rewrites the end of the show. And so the Hulk, or Todd turning into the Hulk thing, never happened. Bruce jumping out of nowhere never happened. Apparently Titania was still there, because she is still there at the end, and an abomination did happen, but I don't know. It's a little too much for me. So I don't like that fourth wall break. I think it went too far, a little too much, and I kind of like the result of it, but we didn't really need it to get to that result. Todd should have never injected himself to begin with. You could have just wrote that. Bruce never could have came down to begin with. You just could have wrote that. We don't need a reason for Matt to show up. It's already been established that he knows Jen. She could have just called him in for help. For legal help. There's better ways to fix this ending than to have it all go completely wrong and then do a big fourth wall break and try to rewrite history. So to me, that's just too much. So after that, the Kevin bot rewrites the show, and we end up with Jen just basically saying she's going to sue Todd. And then Matt drops out of nowhere, literally out of the sky or something. But so we get Matt Murdock, and I do love the return of Daredevil. It was fun. And Titania's all excited. Everybody's excited to see Daredevil there. And of course, they don't know that he's Matt Murdock still, but they're still excited. And then the show really ends with Matt at this outdoor family dinner with Jen's family, which is really cute. And I like her dad's talking about children, and Matt's getting uncomfortable. All that stuff is cute. I think Matt and Jen are a really cute couple. And it's confirmed Matt was visiting for a whole week, so they got to spend more time together. And they actually really do like each other. So it is really cute. I do like Matt and Jen. I hope we get maybe Jen popping up in the Daredevil Born Again show, because I do think they're really cute. And then Bruce comes in for real this time, and he introduces us to his son, Scar. So I know a lot of people speculated that that's what he went off to Sakaar to do, was to return with his son, Scar. I'm not sure where this is going. I don't know much about the character of Scar. I know he was in the Hulk and the Agents of Smash animated show, which I did watch. But I'm not sure if we're going to get a World War Hulk storyline out of this. I don't know where they're going to show up next. Maybe Captain America World Order. Maybe they'll announce an untitled Hulk something or other. Because there still are 5 untitled release dates that Marvel has for Phase 6. So maybe that's one of them. I don't know. So yeah, I don't know much about this character, so I'm not sure what to expect from him. Is it a Hulk? Is Scar Hulk? Is he half Hulk? Does he have a mom? What race was his mom? But if anybody has any answers to the Scar character, let me know in the comments below, because I really don't know much about the character. So him showing up is kind of just oh, that's kind of cool, but where's this all going to go? And then we get an end credits scene where Wong breaks Emil Blonsky out of prison again, but this time it looks a little more permanent, because Blonsky got all the stuff. He's asking about does Kamar-Taj have Wi-Fi and stuff, so it seems I don't know why Wong keeps breaking him out to begin with. Are they just friends? Does Wong think that he doesn't deserve to be in prison? Or is he trying to train the Abomination to use him as a weapon? or just as a part of the team or something. I'm not really sure. So I don't know when we're going to see Wong or Abomination show up again, but it is kind of cool to have another end credit scene with Wong. And of course we know that we had the established relationship between them, so it kind of makes sense that Wong would be breaking him out again. So, I mean, that's kind of a cool end credit scene, so at least we get an end credit scene in this episode. So this was a mixed bag of episode. I love everything with Nikki and Pug. I thought they were great. I love Jen and Matt together always, and even Bruce's return is kind of fun to see. But I really didn't like the fourth wall break. I didn't like the calling out that the storylines were terrible. And it was too clever for its own good, in my opinion. I probably will redo a separate video kind of going over She-Hulk as a whole. I might just even do a Phase 4 Marvel TV shows review and rank all of the Marvel TV shows in Phase 4. Probably do that video. I was really hoping that this finale would stick the landing, and for a bit it looked like it was. And then it just kind of went downhill after that until Matt showed up. And it's kind of disappointing that I went into She-Hulk so excited, and it's just not as good as I wanted it to be. It's not terrible. I still kind of enjoy it overall. There's a lot of things I love. Again, Nikki, Pug, Mallory, all the lawyer characters are great. And even Jen, to an extent, is a good character. I love the actress, but the show just kind of had... It didn't know what it wanted to be. And even in the fourth wall break where she meets Kevin, she's like, isn't this a lawyer comedy? And I'm like, is it? I don't know. When has it been a lawyer comedy? Since like the fourth episode, it hasn't been a lawyer comedy. So, I don't know. I don't want to complain too much. There is a lot of good stuff in here. Again, I liked the sort of first half of the episode a lot. Love seeing the return of Matt, of course. I just thought he's so charming in this episode and every time he pops up. So there's a lot of good stuff here. It's not a terrible episode. It's kind of just, meh. But I wish it would have been better. I wish it really would have solidly stuck the landing, because then I would have really have said this show is good overall. Because the ending is kind of weak, I don't know that I could say it's a good show overall. It's kind of in the middle. It's kind of in, I don't know, maybe Hawkeye territory for me. I'm not sure. I'll have to do a separate video where I really kind of think about it, break down the TV shows and rank them properly. And I'll probably rewatch the finale again to get better thoughts on it. But those are just my opinions right now after seeing it one time, so they could always change. So that's my thoughts on the She-Hulk finale. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Did you love it? Did you think the fourth wall break was great? Or did you hate it like me? Hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to the channel for more Marvel reviews as I continue to work my way through the MCU. Next up is Thor: The Dark World. Be sure to check the link in the description below if you want to help support the channel. You can buy me a coffee. That's all I got for now. And until next time, hi Daredevil. Bye.